Welcome back to my walkthrough of Chris's campaign in Resident Evil Remake. How you doing, future Rafa? Or future Rafa's not watching. How are you doing, kids? Future kids that I don't know yet. I'm hoping that I'm a cool dad. Or hello to anybody who just stumbled on this video. As I said before, the purpose of this is to kind of showcase my thought process as I went through this video game. Again, a big part of this would not have happened if it wasn't for Mike Bettencourt, who had these amazing Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine walkthroughs, no damage, and go check out his channel. The link will be in the description, please. It's awesome. As of right now, so I've already played about an hour of the game, so now I'm going back where we first started in the main hall, kind of going that way in order to get to that room where we saw the first zombie chewing on Kenneth. So we're going to head that way so we can kind of start into the next part and getting some more keys. Overall, I mean, like I said, I really enjoyed this game. As you can see, a lot of backtracking. If you watched the first video, you know what I'm talking about. It's the same here. This is a good time to kind of contemplate and get used to the tank controls and the shifting camera perspectives. Even after playing this game for a while, because I did play through all of Jill's campaign and then to get all the endings, and then I've just played through all of Chris's campaign to get all the endings. It takes some time and it takes some mastering. I'm still not that good at it, but I try. Now, what's going to happen is soon we're going to be solving this puzzle right here. The picture of the two knights. This is a hint for what we're going to be doing with the actual clock on the side there. And then over here, we'll be able to pick up this emblem, but that's going to be later. First, we're going to go into a room now that we do have the armor key, which is right next to the zombie that was eating Kenneth. And like before, you can easily dispose of him if you want to, especially if you have the lighter, so you can kind of like do your own thing, but you can just bypass him. There's no reason for me to kill him right now, so he's just kind of hanging out there. And I like him being there. It's like, he's the first zombie, so there's no reason for me to destroy him just yet. I don't know, maybe I'm being sentimental. But this room right here is really important. It shows me some cool stuff right here. But mostly, this is where we're going to get some really important information on George Trevor, who is the dude, the architect who made the Spencer Mansion with all these booby traps. And you kind of learn the backstory of his terrible time. This is a really cool piano, and this is a secret room, so what you got to do is you have to play a specific song in order for the door to open. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to move this bookshelf in order to pick up the pages, or is it the cover? One of the two. It is the musical score, yes. So we're going to combine the musical score with the actual pages that we got before for Moonlight Sonata. And basically what we're going to do is when we combine them, we will now have the music to be able to actually play Moonlight Sonata. Of course, I don't think Chris can actually read sheet music. So this is one of those things where how would you even know what to do specifically? Like, yes, we're supposed to put this together, but how do you know you're supposed to play it on the piano? What if you can't play the piano? It creates its own kind of things. Thankfully, Stars doesn't just get people with an ex-military background, but people who probably know how to play the piano. Chris not being one of them. Like how he freaks out.
It's me, Chris.
Rebecca.
That sounded like Moonlight Sonata.
Can you play?
And I love these cutscenes. I like how we're developing a little sister, big brother relationship between Rebecca and Chris. I just wish she wasn't wearing that outfit. I wish she was wearing her Stars outfit, but whatever. We get what we get.
Oh, what was that?
My interpretation is off a little.
Better than you, Chris.
Let me practice for a while.
Sure. But don't get too carried away.
Oh, I won't.
So we can leave this room. Again, you can just dodge him right there. And this will give us time to kind of look around. All you got to do is really go back to the main hall, and you can go back into the room if you want to. But I'm actually going to explore a room upstairs that doesn't really give me much of anything. First, we're going to pick up the actual emblem. This will be important for that room. But I'm going to go upstairs after the main hall in order to find our good old boy Forrest, who's another one of the Bravo team that was unfortunately killed. In this case, he was pecked to death by a bunch of fucking crows. He was the marksman from the Bravo team, so this is optional. You don't have to go this way. You don't really get a lot of stuff over here, and if you go too far, the animated corpse of Forrest comes after you, so it is a waste of bullets, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to open the door, and I'm just going to get it just from some context, just to kind of build my own lore into the story. S.D. Perry, fantastic novelization of the first Resident Evil game, as well as the other Resident Evil games. And in that story, we kind of get some more background into kind of the playful nature of Chris and Forrest's relationships. How they were both like these young dudes that were really good at firing a gun. And so, you know, they developed that rapport. I was just kidding. There is a dagger over here if you want that. Other than that, there's nothing over here besides his dead body. But I like the way that S.D. Perry played it. And now you kind of get a sense of that, oh, he was someone that was important to Chris. Even though they didn't always see eye to eye, his boyish charm really kind of like resonated with Chris in a sense where like his death is that much more horrifying. Because, you know, he's someone who had so much more to move into the forest. Something to much move forward into life, you know, because he was so young. So it's really just sucks, which makes this that much more tragic to him. And that's the thing, you know, we're talking about Chris Redfield. We're talking about all the STARS members. Chris Redfield specifically, I mean, he was a U.S. Air Force pilot. He's the STARS Alpha Team point man, you know. This is a strong dude with strong convictions who's young. He's 25 in this game, and he has to go through this fucking bullshit, you know. STARS, it's weird because STARS is one of those, it's something set up. It's set up with focusing on a team of ex-military elite fighters. That's who they are. Chris is really good at hand-to-hand combat. He's good with knives. More importantly, he's a great shot, right? Very good at getting the crosshairs and shooting who he has to. But he's meant to be a guinea pig. All of STARS are guinea pigs in Umbrella's experiments, and it sucks. And that's why it's, you know, that's what makes it so scary is if someone as tough as these people are having a hard time and they're killed by dogs and crows and spiders and snakes, then what about normal people like us, you know? It's weird. Terrifying to really think about. So now, after doing that, the door behind me, yes, that zombie will pop off if you stay here for too long. So by now, Rebecca has had enough practice, so we're going to go back into the room and continue with the story.
Chris, I think I got it.
Practice makes perfect.
Moonlight Sonata is such a good song. I'm glad it's been incorporated into this game. Makes it that much better.
Be careful, Chris.
So we go in this room and basically we're going to trade this gold emblem with the fake one we got back outside with the fireplace. That way so that, again, the door mechanism will open. So again, it's kind of like what Jill does and Chris just did to get the shotgun. It's the same example with all those aspects of you're swapping something for something new. And that's the important part. This gives us George's actual diary, finding out that he's created this labyrinth of mazes and booby traps to no avail. Now his daughter and his wife, you know, hopefully they won't be a part of this. And he knows he's going to die here. Which is, again, tragic to this. And unfortunately, his family do succumb to this place.
Were you all right in there?
Yeah.
Yes, I was okay. Such a strange cutscene. I wish they had more right there, but that's it, I guess. So now we're going to solve this next puzzle because we have the gold emblem, and we're going to put it over the fireplace. Again, that zombie doesn't really do anything. You just easily bypass him, especially when his back is turned to you, which you shouldn't do. You don't turn your back on Chris Redfield. That's your mistake. So by putting the gold emblem here, that'll open a mechanism for the clock, which will pull out the specific top part, which is some gears, and you're going to turn these gears. So Once we get to them again, looking at that painting right there, that's going to be important because this shows us the swords have been thrust into one another, right? So they're both killing each other, the long and the small. Those are supposed to be representing of the minute hands, right? The hour and minute hands. So one has to pierce the armor head, the other one the actual armor itself. So you're going to turn this twice to the left. So you're turning the large gear twice to the left. And then that's it. And then once that happens, it's going to play this song. Well, not song, but it's going to ding like this. It's going to move to the side. And here we got this nice, shiny mansion key. As you can see, nothing unusual about it. This is our shield key. And so we're going to keep on moving. Keep on trucking. Going to the next place. But again, going back to like Chris Redfield, right? U.S. Air Force pilot. This dude, went into the military young after taking care of his sister, Claire, who we see in Resident Evil 2. And, I mean, this is a guy with strong convictions. I mean, he was at odds with his superior officers. Again, another kind of cross-reference to other characters that I love. Talking about Doom Guy from the Doom franchise, right? Dude's so fucking badass that when he was forced to fire upon a group of unarmed civilians, he just punched his superior officer in the face, which sent him to Mars, which led to the whole hell invasion on the UAC, right? So in this case, I like to think that something similar happened. He was forced to do something he didn't agree with, and Chris has a temper, so he punched his officer, I don't know. And then he was discharged, which allowed him to then become part of STARS, and then the rest was history. And I think that's really cool, building that lore. So we're going to go back down here, as you can see. Good time to, again, kind of load up, make sure that we have the things that we're going to need, as well as making sure that we put away things. Because, again, Chris has a very small inventory, and it sucks. But the cool thing is, Rebecca's back, so she can treat my wounds if you need it. In this case, I don't. But really, I don't know how she got here so much faster than me. But we're going to kind of look through this. Make sure you got your shotgun, and we're going to go back upstairs. And we're going to continue with our journey of self-discovery to destroy all of these terrible creatures of the night. Another thing, they just recently showcased the Resident Evil 8 trailer, Village. And I'm pretty hyped for it. People talking about like, oh, there's going to be witches and werewolves. That's not Resident Evil. Well, I mean, you can easily say that, werewolves can be part of Resident Evil because all that the T virus is, it's a virus that affects different organisms. And we see it affect amphibian-type reptiles with the hunters, crows, and we have the dogs, the zombie dogs. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if a person could turn into a werewolf, yes, but not like a legit werewolf. I mean, we'll find out. I don't think it's too far-fetched. And as far as witches are concerned, something new to the lore. I'm not too scared. So what we're going to do now is we are going to go and get our next death mask. And that means going into the big scary room where Richard got bitten by the big-ass snake. And so we're going to bypass this dude. And basically, the key we just got only opens one fucking door. And it's this big spider webby looking one, where you think you'd actually fight a spider. But you don't. So if those of you that are arachnophobic, don't worry. We're not going to see any spiders right here. Instead, we're going to see a giant-ass snake. But the cool thing is, you don't have to fight him. I'm not going to fight this motherfucker. We're going to fight him later. Right now, I'm just going to bypass him. Because I don't have time to fight him. I don't want to waste my ammo on him. You can fight him, but he's just going to run away anyway. Look at those cat-like reflexes. So we're going to bypass him, go right across over here. We're going to pick up the death mask. Pick that up, and then just dip. We're going to dip. Look how easy this is. Didn't even get hurt. That's what I'm talking about. If you're smart about things, these things can't get you. I mean, I'm talking about Chris Redfield, for God's sakes. At this time, right, born in 1973, according to the wiki. So at this point now, he's 50 years old in the current canon. But in this timeline, at least, so far, he has already around 10 years military operative experience, right? So, I mean, top marksman, great with hand-to-hand combat, knives. So good, in fact, that he also helped... oh, shit. I forgot he comes out. Shoot this dude, get past him. We're going to use the armor key as well. Get in here. And now... Oh, wait a minute. I think this is... Yeah, never mind. I don't think the armor key was what I used to open that door. Or maybe it was. I don't care. Whatever. I just got to discard something, so it doesn't really matter. So in this room, it's another puzzle. We got to get this right here. It's going to have the next death mask. So it's really simple. We're going to push the far right guy in. Then the lower left suit of armor. And then the lower right suit of armor. Otherwise, poisonous gas will enter the room and you will die. It doesn't matter how muscly you are or how good you are at shooting guns. Poison will fuck up your day. Push the button. The bars will go up. And now we can collect the little box, which has the death mask inside. Very simple. A mysterious box. Yes, I will take the jewelry box. Perfect. So we're going to head out the way we were. Where, again, there's like 3 zombies out here. So we got to be fast like lightning. And don't let Chris's size fool you. He might be full of muscles, but he's fast. He's like Dr. Bravestone, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. We're going to pick up this wooden mount. This is going to be good for a map later. But yeah, this dude's basically Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson from the Jumanji remake. Fast, agile, no weaknesses. Besides maybe Jill. Jill, I think, would be his only weakness, as we've seen in all of the different remakes. I'm going to use the wooden plank right now. Well, actually, let's open this door first. That way I don't have to open it later. But we're going to get past this guy. Forgot that he was there. Give him a second. Shit. See, again, sometimes they grab you. That's all right. See? Stab him in the head. Yeah. But no, yeah. Chris's only weakness is probably Jill Valentine. As we've seen in the other games. How he'll do anything he can to save her, help her. Whatever he's got to do. Unlit fireplace. So we'll put the wooden plank here. And then we'll use the lighter to light it up. And it's going to give us a map. Again, you don't really need the map if you're watching this. But I like it. Just a completionist. Get everything that you can. So, yeah. I bet you Chris would love to get Jill by this fireplace. So they could talk stories and just talk about things, you know. I mean, it could be very romantic. Being by the fireplace. Chris is good with his hands. Give a pretty good, nice foot massage. Never know. We're going to go back downstairs. Right over here. We should start kind of, again, checking our inventory. So Wesker being cool, leaving us some stuff in this room. So you'll have some more ammo. That'll be really, really helpful. And sometimes Wesker comes about and he just kind of gives you more stuff. This is not the only time he'll do it in the game, but as you can see, there's some cool stuff here, like a first aid spray and a bunch of other stuff. Grab what you need. We're going to go through here. This doorknob is going to fall apart, so try not to go out this door too much. I'm going to go out the door right now in order to kind of go into the next area to get our final death mask. Not this door. This door is going to be for later, but this door. We can get rid of the armor key now. No longer need it. And this is going to be another puzzle. Oh, shit. Alright, let's get past these guys. So, I just unlocked that door. I'll come back to that door. Why am I doing? Yes, because that door is where I'm going to go next. But before that, actually, we're going to go back upstairs. There is one room that I didn't go into. I unlocked it already. But I'm going to go back just to kind of grab the stuff. Oh, forgot that he... Oh, see? Try to trick you. He should have been on the other side of the room. But he wasn't. But whatever. So we'll go in here. We'll grab the herbs. Grab this herb. Moose man over there. Yep. It's probably a hunter that did that. We're going to go into this room first. And there's not a lot of stuff in here, but we're going to get another old key. So we got 2 at this point. And then there's an ink ribbon, which, yeah, I can grab. Just because I'm going to put it away in the save room in a second. And then in here, we got another herb, which I can combine with the red herb so that I'll have a little bit more health items. That's going to be important. Then the bed is cool because it says like, oh, it looks like the footprints go through the bed. So I like to think that maybe there's a secret passage underneath the bed, but I can't get into it even if there is. We're going to go out this door, and now we're going to try the other door. And then from there, then we'll go back into the save room, grab all the death masks that we have, grab the last one, and then we're going to go and basically fight the Elder Crimson Head, which is the nasty little abomination inside that coffin we saw earlier. That's going to be important. So we go into this room right here, ready to explore whatever comes at us. And as we do, this is one of my least favorite rooms in the entire game. At this point, what I did is I went back and I kind of put some stuff away just because I didn't have enough in my inventory. So I recommend going back outside, going downstairs, using the save room, putting stuff in your inventory, and coming back, leaving at least 3 slots open, because that's what I'm going to need. And basically, this is where we're going to get some more stuff and deal with a fucking wasp. First, we go over here, and we're going to pick up the fish hook. Once you grab the fish hook, because they're all in the wrong place, we're going to go right over here. And this will give us this yellow dude. This is what we call the Lure of the Bee. And basically, yeah, this is the collection of bugs. There's a switch. Do not press it yet. Do not press it. We'll go to no. And then we're going to combine the fish hook with the Lure of the Bee, right? They're both the same color, so it makes it pretty simple. And then over here where we have the fish hooks, I will take the bee specimen. And then in its place, this is where I'm going to put the Lure of the Bee. And now I'm going to go right back over here, away from all the dead bugs, because there's way too many dead bugs in here. And I'm going to put the bee specimen. When I do that, this is the correct thing that's supposed to be in here. So I'll press the button, and look and behold, we got a very important emblem. And for some reason, the wasp is still alive, or the bee is still alive. And Chris, instead of punching it down, just kind of chunks it to the floor, and the sheer force doesn't kill it, which is insane to me. But we're going to get the wind crest. The wind crest is going to be important for later, and then we're going to get out of this room. And I'm never going to go in that room again, because I can deal with the hunters and even the crimson heads and everything else, but the bugs, god damn, I hate the bugs so much. I hate them. I hate them. We're going to go out the room, and like before, we're going to go downstairs, and we are going to go to the area right here, that way, so we can use the inventory again. And when we go into the inventory, we want to make sure we have at least the 3 death masks, right? So that's going to include the shotgun, death mask, then the jewelry box, and the wind crest. So we're going to use all those. When you open the jewelry box, there's the death mask without the eyes, nose, or mouth in it. That's going to be important. And then we're going to head on out. Equip your shotgun. You're going to need all 6 shots. So make sure that it's loaded. You don't need to take ammo with you. You don't need to take your handgun. Just take the shotgun and the masks, because you need the inventory. And once, we're going to get rid of them right now. This will take us back out here. And now we'll go into the door that I originally unlocked, which has a pretty nifty puzzle. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to open this door. But as you can see at the top here, we have some crows perched on the beams. And these beams are set to shock the crows, and then they'll come attack you if you do this puzzle wrong. Basically, there's a bunch of portraits, and we have to change the colors of the portraits to match this main one, of who I believe is supposed to be Lisa Trevor, but I could be wrong, I don't remember. And so you want to make sure that you change the colors to the correct paintings. So what we're going to do is first, this one right here, this very first one, the variant wearing the yellow stained glass, we're going to switch it. It'll turn now into an orange. Then we're going to go all the way over here to the first one on the side. And we're going to switch this one's color. And this color will now transform into a beautiful green, which is Chris Redfield's color, so that's nice. And then the one that's directly next to it with the old-looking dude, which will be the nice purple. And that will kind of showcase the colors that we have here. And now with Lisa, what we're going to do is we're going to actually click the switch, and then it's going to allow us to open this door, the secret entranceway. And if we had done it incorrectly, it would have done bad things. We're going to unlock this right here. And this is going to be easier to go through. And then we're going to pick up the last death mask. And this is what's going to allow us now to really just kind of go in and get to the next part of the game, which is going to be really important for us to take on. I think it's the first boss of this game. If you don't take on the yawn in the giant snake in that room. So we're going to go back here, as you remember, and it's going to take us downstairs into this creepy little underground cave mechanism where we have the giant coffin suspended, which has a pretty nasty monster inside. So basically over here we have where we're going to put the death masks, and each one is separate. Some of them don't have holes. Some of them don't have like an eye where they're supposed to be, so instead there'll be holes in there. So we got to make sure we put the correct death mask to where it's supposed to be at. And each time, basically one of the chains is going to fall apart. And this is important because ultimately, you know, Chris, he's no stranger to danger. Let's just put it that way. Right? Everyone talks about how Resident Evil 5 Chris punched a boulder. But let's not forget that Chris is a machine. He's backhanding zombies in the Spencer mansion. He's roundhouse kicking BOWs in Code Veronica. I mean, let's not forget the time in Code Veronica where Chris uppercutted a hunter so hard that its brain exploded. Or the time that he was snapping necks at insane speeds in Resident Evil 5. Or when he was body slamming bloodshot monsters in Resident Evil 6. Like, sure, that hasn't happened yet, but, I mean, in the prowess of that, it will in the future. And that's just a small taste. This is Chris at his prime. Basically, the doors close, and now we have the Elder Crimson, which is a stronger Crimson Head. And basically, it's really simple. It takes about 5 to 6 shots, depending. Let him come at you, he'll fall, and you can shoot him down. The way they get back up is so scary. And they'll come at you, keep shooting at him, and at some point, like here, he's just going to fall over and he's dead. Dunzo. We did it. Again, you don't fuck with Chris. This is a dude who, in the Marhawa Desire manga, punched a zombie dog in the face mid-jump. And I think that's insane. We're going to pick up the stone and metal object, which is going to be important for later. And then, you know, for the most part, I mean, that's mostly it. We beat the first mini boss, and now we're gonna continue on with our adventure, feeling that much more triumphant. And just again, don't let them scare you. Just kind of dodge, go around. As you saw, this is like my third time I fought this guy, and I always get injured, so it's all right. That was by sheer luck that I was able to knock him down that first time. So, but this is, like I said, this is Chris Redfield. This is the dude who is just so good at what he does. Let's not forget about his gung fu martial arts in Vendetta. Biohazard Vendetta, the movie. He was just killing zombies like it was nobody's business with his guns and some kind of weird martial arts. And that's nuts to me. Basically, this is the easiest way to get back to where we need to go. It's going to have the least amount of encounters of bad guys. So we're going to go right through over here. Oh, and I got one more. Also, don't mess with Chris, because he did once go toe-to-toe with Captain America in Marvel vs. Capcom. And I think that's insane. So going through here, you just saw me bypass the zombie. And this is going to kind of start taking us towards the residence. Now, there's a zombie dog that comes out, so you got to be fast. Basically, you'll go over here. And in this little indentation, we're going to use the stone and metal object. And it's going to unlock the door to the side. And you're going to go through this door immediately before the zombie dog can get you. I made the mistake of being too slow and I had to fight him, and that's a waste of shotgun bullets, so I didn't want to waste it. Basically, we're going to go over here. We're going to make our way towards the residence, and there's different ways of getting there. First, what we're going to do is we're going to get the shotgun shells. Very, very helpful. We still have the wind crest. That's going to be very, very important, so we're going to continue with that. As you can see here, we have a flash grenade. I'm going to take that as well. And then I'm not going to take the health item just yet. I'm going to save that for when I'm going to need it later, because I'm going to need spots in my inventory. We're going to go through this side door right over here. And as we go in through the side door, basically, we're going to kind of utilize this next puzzle. Now, here we have some things that are kind of like floating in the wind. And we basically have to make them so this first one has to point towards west. It's going to change the dog's direction so that it can actually open it's going to open the gate to get me to the next part to get to the residence. But of course, with Redfield Radio, we get some stuff. And I don't know what Wesker's trying to do, because I mean he's trying to have his team get fighting these BOWs. So I don't know why he would warn them, but it's part of his plan. We'll keep going down here. Here's the other one. Same thing. We'll interact with it. And this one, we're going to try to make it so it's at the north. And then the three-headed dog, we'll turn the way it's supposed to. We'll go down here and go through the big-ass gate. Now, when we go through this gate, this is a really important part. I'm glad that we have the wind crest. Please make sure you have the wind crest. There are going to be crows here, and they will come at you if you run. So we're just going to calmly walk by them. Not going to hurt them. They ain't going to hurt me. And we're going to go to these two gravestones. And the one on the right-hand side, there's an indentation for me to put the wind crest, where it says, once the winds come in, the heavens will open. Again, Spencer and Trevor and just their machinations. This will give us 3 other emblems. We got the sun, we got a star, and we got the moon. So basically, we're going to take each one of these crests, and once we take them, we're going to go over to the left-hand side, and we're going to just swap them. We're going to swap them in. And the way that we do that is they kind of go into this area right here, because there's some spots. But they're not complete. So first what we have to do is we have to examine each crest. Once we do that, there's a button on the end that's going to protrude this little mechanism so that we can actually put them into the next gravestone. So again, do this with the other ones. Pretty simple, pretty easy. This is very important because you're going to need this weapon later. It's going to be really, really helpful. This is going to give us access to my favorite weapon and mostly always the Resident Evil games. Whenever we see this weapon, it's when we know, okay, when I have the weight in my hand, I know this gun is going to make today that much better. So is that. And I'm not talking about the rocket launcher, because the rocket launcher is mostly what you use towards the end just to fight the big monsters. This is more that's going to make your everyday that much easier because it's stronger than the shotgun, and it's way stronger than the handgun. And I think you know where I'm getting at with this. We're going to put the crests right inside. Very simple. No big sweat. And then once we do that, the mechanisms will start to turn, and we will get the beautiful Magnum. And yes, it is worth your time to get that wind crest and to put it in here, because that wind crest is going to make your gameplay that much better. So again, now we're going to walk right on out of here. Simple, easy peasy, beautiful cover girl. Maybe it's Maybelline, maybe she's born with it, who knows. But here we go. We'll go through this fence right here, and now we're going to kind of start going up towards this house on the hill that belongs to Lisa Trevor, who was added in this video game. And this is some cool stuff, just because as we move forward here, it's a little bit of a winding road to get here. And there aren't any enemies up here, except for one lone zombie who's just kind of hanging out. But we'll get to him at some point. There's no reason to kind of mess with him. I don't know where he comes from, but at some point right there, he's just kind of hanging out. We're going to go up this way to this lonesome house where Lisa resides. And it's a creepy house for sure. As you can see, I'm going to kind of loop around because I never remember. I don't ever think that there's anything out here. I think maybe in the easier difficulties, there might be like some herbs. But in this case, no, not on this one. So watch me. See, there's nothing over here that you can find. Maybe there's a sign of life. There's an actual fireplace in there. So let's go in. Let's get warm. Because we are away from the mansion at this time, heading towards the residence. But first, let's go to this little residence. Very old, very cobwebby. Whoever lives here isn't afraid of spiders. Yep, fireplace is there. Everything that you need. Number of bandages with brown stains, blood. Yep, that's exactly what that is. We got a map of the courtyard. We'll take that. Kind of shows us where we are. We've already kind of explored all of this. And then this room is going to be really important because we got a typewriter, so we can save if you'd like. I'd recommend saving if you'd like to at this point. And then we're going to go right over here where we're going to get our next important item, which is going to allow us to go to the residence. There's an item box back there. And basically, we're going to pick up this, this lever. So, no, that's crank. We're going to take the crank. We're going to go back the way that we came. But we're going to get a little cutscene. Again, if you're going to use the item box, use it now. Make sure that you equip your revolver, your magnum. And now, we'll have this little cutscene where Lisa comes in and knocks us out. Keep in mind, Lisa is an immortal monster. You can't kill her. So, don't try to. The way that we get past this part is really easy. God, as bad as I fear, as bad as I feel for her, this is a horrifying monster. Shoot her once with the magnum, she will double over in pain with her little nemesis things coming out, and we'll just bypass her. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Don't waste any more time on her. If you want to try to duck her and evade her, you can try to do that, but you want to be careful. You don't want to get hurt, so I would recommend the one magnum bullet is worth it. Just use it, get it done. Now be careful with this part, because again, you might go in circles if you don't know which way to go, and you're going to go down that way. And then there's, right here, we're going to see a little zombie hanging out, watching the moonlight. Leave him alone. Leaves us alone. We'll go this way. And then, yeah, we'll just kind of continue on our way back the way that we were. We're going to go all around here, and then we're going to go through this gate once again. And once we go through this gate, the crows are still around. But at this point, you can kind of run past them. They're not really going to hurt you. So it's really up to you what you want to do. As you can see here, I'm just kind of walking. I'm going to take it safe. No reason. I don't think these birds are infected. I think they're just kind of hanging out. Because otherwise, they would have attacked me. So no reason to kill them. It's not like in Resident Evil 4 where you can shoot them down and then they drop treasure. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen. So no reason to kill them. No reason to waste the ammunition, really. We're going to go back up this way. And now, at this point, I would recommend that if you want to, you can pick up the health item once we go through the door. And then once we do that, we're going to go through the bigger door, which is going to take us to the residence. And the residence is the next big part of the game. We will come back to the mansion at some point, but as of right now, the residence is the next main area that we need to go to. So we'll go this way. Like I said, you can take the health item if you'd like. I'm not going to at this time. We're going to go through the big doors, and this will allow us to use our crank, which will allow us to kind of get rid of some of the water that's over here. But before we do that, of course, Brad, who deserted us like the coward that he is around, but he can't hear us, of course. And we're going to need him. We're going to need him bad.
It doesn't matter. Respond. I repeat, this is
Brad, this is Chris. Brad? Damn.
God, I wish the voice was Roger Craig Smith so bad. There's dogs here. You can kind of run past them. If you're like me, you suck at it, and they get you anyway. You can shoot them if you'd like to, but for me, a couple bites don't really hurt me that bad. God, so violent. We're going to go through. We are going to go through here a couple of times, so you either got to be fast to dodge these dogs, or you're going to have to shoot them down. And it's really your choice. I decided not to. And we want to clear this water so we can get across. So this is where we're going to use the actual crank. We're going to use the item. Super slow, but it gets the job done. And it drains the water. Where the water goes, I don't know. But it goes somewhere else. And luckily, you don't have to worry about like swimming in this game. Unlike in Revelations 1, when you're on the Queen Zenobia, and then you do have to swim. Which wasn't that bad, but anytime that I have to go into a body of water, it sucks. It's probably because of my personal fear of the ocean, and especially with like the Resident Evil monsters. You don't want to see a mutated monster, and especially if you don't know how to swim, like I don't. We're gonna go down the ladder, and as we go down the ladder, we're gonna go across, and this is gonna take us to the residence area. Now, as we go through here, I believe snakes fall. And if they don't fall here, they'll fall down soon. And basically, if you get bit by one, you will be poisoned. So, as you can see, no snakes fell there, I guess. This will take us down, and we're going to bypass. There's going to be some crows here, so just run. No reason to deal with them. Just kind of keep on going. Going this way, straight shot, and then we're going to go through this fence right here. And then when we go through this fence, this is where the snakes fall. And they're just like little baby snakes, but they will bite you and they will poison you. So just be careful. So just keep running. Keep running. And this is the residence, which is the next big part of the game. So we've gone through all of the mansion stuff. We haven't done everything in there, so we will go back to the mansion. But for this part, we're going to go through the residence, which is multi-layered. There's some new bad guys that we see in here, some new creatures, so be ready for that. We got the introduction of the blue herb, which will deal with any poison that we get. So we don't have to worry about that right now, because I didn't get poisoned, but it is good to have. But first, we're going to go through the save room. And in the save room, this is going to allow us to, again, get some more stuff for our inventory. There's a box in here, so put away the stuff you don't need. And then at the same time, there should be ink ribbon right over here. And so if you want to save your process, you are more than welcome to save your process. We also get a handy flash grenade, so that's going to come in handy when we kind of get people thrown at us. And then, of course, we got some kerosene. So again, if there are any zombies in here, shoot them down and you can burn them if you'd like to. I'm going to put away the blue herb, and I'm also going to put away the magnum. You don't need it right now, and we don't need the crank. I'm going to take the shotgun, and I'm going to put away the ink ribbon, but if you want to save, please feel free to save first. And then having some herbs is always a good idea, just in case. Because I am at a caution. Because that dog bit the shit out of my arm. Also, you might have noticed that I haven't reloaded my shotgun. There's a reason for that. It's about to become obsolete because I'm going to pick up the combat shotgun, which is going to be really important. But right now, I don't really plan on shooting anything, so we're going to go right across to these big doors. Keep in mind, this is a very big scare in the game. The first time I played through this, it fucking scared the shit out of me. And there's a reason for that, because I hate spiders. And here we have an awesome Easter egg.
You son of a bitch.
The inclusion of this epic handshake makes sense, considering the bulging biceps on this behemoth of a man. Make sure you pick up the red book. Make sure you pick up the first aid box, which will have some kind of healing item in it. And then if you want, as you look around upstairs, there's a couple of different things, specifically a really sexy poster. This part is going to be important if you want to find out the certain sequence of numbers for a door later. So you can write that stuff down. For me, I'm not really going to utilize it at this point. You use the lighters on the different lanterns and it'll do stuff for you. There's spiders around, but if you just kind of walk past them, they don't really hurt you. They take too long to really affect you. And see, that's all you really got to do to just kind of bypass them. So there's no reason to lose any ammo. There's also no reason to get injured. You just kind of have to walk around. It takes them a second to really attack you, so you have enough time to kind of dodge anything. The other thing is, as you go through here, you got to be careful because there's a plant 42, and he does grab you like that. So we got to grab this right here, and we're going to push it, this box. There's a lot of box pushing in this level, in order so that we can kind of get across. So it's not too hard of a little puzzle thing. We just kind of have to push this to the side, and now the vine won't be able to grab us. So we'll go up on here, go up on this platform as well, this other box, and then we'll just kind of get down. If we do this, we don't have to go through the holes, so we won't be grabbed by the vines. Because Chris here is a professional. He knows what he's doing. Look around these old musty houses, ready to kill any zombies that come his way. He's been on active duty in the military, you know? Like, he's fought bad guys before. Here, it's different, of course, but still, he's got some experience. Right there's a map. Do not grab it yet, because that will allow wasps to get into the room. So we'll leave that alone for now. That'll come later. And in this room, there's a couple of different things. There is a zombie in here, so you want to kind of watch out. First, we're going to go into the side room where we will have a bathroom. And in this bathroom, we're going to ultimately kind of go over here where the water is dripping from the sink. So things are broken. Always trying to interact. We will take the residence key. This key is going to be very important. And then you can't really interact with the water in the tub, so we'll just kind of get out. I was completely lucky there. If you stay too long, a zombie will come out and get you, as you can see, as it did for me. But if you just kind of grab the key and get out, you'll be fine. Not my case, though. We'll go this way. It's going to be important as well. There's old newspapers and magazines. Again, someone was here, and now they're not. They talk about plant 42 and how this is a crazy carnivorous plant that will eat you. think of a Venus flytrap, but without the Venus flytrap part, I guess. So nothing like a Venus flytrap. Just a big, monstrous plant. Doesn't look that scary, but it is a bitch of a boss. So we kind of got to get past it. We're going to go back the way that we came because we're going to be using this key to open up another area where we first started in the residence. So we're going to double on back. Not too bad. Because Chris here, I mean, if we're looking at the current games, what? He's almost 50. So after this game, he has about 20 years of bioterrorism experience. Like, that's crazy to think that it all started in the lineage of this game. Just a dude throwing like, oh, cannibalistic murders. It might be a ritualistic cult out here. All right? That's scary in itself. But no, it's flesh-eating monsters. Not just zombies, which are ridiculous, but we got other creatures as well. Not to mention the tyrant that we'll see later. There's also espionage, with someone working within the confines to kill everybody. So it's like multi-levels in this. There's a hanging zombie. He doesn't really come at you, so you can just kind of leave him alone. But in this room over here, there are some cool things, so make sure that we look around. Old bookcase, always lots of good books. We already got the only book that's important in this level, and that's the red book that we got earlier. This is the self-defense gun. This gun will be very important. Suicide note. So here it talks about the dude that hanged himself. Some of the last living people in the residence. I mean, I get it. They had to kind of do their own thing. They're all infected, so trying to get out the best way that they can. But that little gun that I just got is going to be very much in handy when I'm going to use it later. It's a one-shot kill for a lot of these creatures. Once we encounter the hunters, I'm going to use it for a specific cinematic, but we'll go from there. Over here, we got another bathroom, another disgusting bathroom, and in this one, we can interact with the tub. It's full of dirty water, which is disgusting. We're going to drain it, and then we'll be able to grab another key, which is going to be incredibly important. So this is going to be the control room key. And a zombie will come in if you're not careful, so just kind of get on out of here. And you won't ever have to come in here again, so it's not too much of a problem. Keep in mind, though, the key that we just got, it's very important that you do this, because for some people, they might just go straight into the next room that I'm about to go into without backtracking to kind of get this. First, I'm going to go back in here, set up my inventory to grab what I'm going to need. Specifically, I can put away my shotgun, just because I'm about to get the combat shotgun pretty soon. And I'm still not planning on shooting anything. But we're going to go back over here. Like I said, make sure that you come back this way and pick up that control key that I just got. Because if you just pick up the residence key and then go through by moving the bookshelf, which I'm about to do right now, you can still go down. But then when you go through, you're going to come across some very angry sharks. And if you don't have the correct key, you're going to get eaten for no reason. So make sure you grab this key first. We'll go into room 002. We'll go right on through like we had before. And the zombie should still be in here. So he's should be in the bathroom. Or by now he should be out. So we'll kind of look around. Or I might have already killed him. So we'll go from there. Trapped in the bathroom. So like I said, you can move these. You'll go down the ladder. And then this will take us... We're still in the residence, but now we're underground. Because, of course, Umbrella can have all of these different loops and turns and places. It's not just the mansion. And this is where we're going to get some more important things. Again, more boxes to push. We'll push that one in a second. But first, we got to basically create a bridge. So there's going to be water over here. So we have to push all 3 of these boxes into the water. Because, again, we can't swim in this game. So we have to push them all in to basically create that bridge. Kind of like when Joel does it in The Last of Us, to get Ellie across things because she can't swim. I don't think that Chris can't swim. It's just not a mechanic in this video game. But like I said, if you want to play another really fun Resident Evil game and you have a Switch, or even when you had the Nintendo 3DS, Revelations 1 was really good. I really enjoyed that game. And in that one, they did introduce swim mechanics. So I do highly recommend that. Because again, Chris, all kinds of experience. Resident Evil 1 goes to the mansion incident. Then in Code Veronica has to go to Rockford Island to save his sister. In 2003, they got to go to an Umbrella Russian village to fight these mutant wolves. And they shut down Umbrella in Europe. Chris and Jill find the BSAA. In 2005, Revelations. This is when they take on the new terrorist group El Veltro. And then there's a bunch of Queen Zenobia drama. Lost in Nightmares, the Spencer Estate investigation, where they come across Wesker again. So a lot of things have gone through. You know, Kajuju incident in Resident Evil 5, the Marhawa school outbreak, the Adonian Civil War, the Langshan incident in Resident Evil 6, the New York outbreak and Vendetta. Chris has gotten through so much. So you're telling me he can't survive this? Of course he can. He's the best.
Richard!
I don't know what the fuck Richard is doing out
Chris!
here, by the way.
Chris, stop! No!
Poor Richard. Always has to die in such a terrible
Richard.
way. See, now you gotta bypass the sharks. Now again, watching Mike Bettencourt, go check out his channel, go check out everything that he has. A really good tip that he has is to walk alongside the rails, which you would think would be counterproductive just because the sharks are closer to you. But I guess the closer you are to the wall away from them, the better chance they have of actually biting you. So take this advice. Again, go watch him. Again, control room key. Important that you have it here. Otherwise, you can't get in this room and you have to backtrack and you could become shark food. So keep that in mind. But no, back to Richard. I feel so bad for Richard. Because Richard's that dude that in my campaign, if you save him from the poison, in my campaign, he gets eaten by sharks. If you save him in Jill's campaign, he gets eaten by that snake. So overall, it just sucks for Richard. Now, this is another one of those puzzles. Before we start, and then you can see the shark there. Before we start, we got to drain this water. So make sure that you check this and see what valve it says. Depending on what game you're playing, the valve will change, 1, 2, or 3. You get an aqua ring map right here, which is going to be really important. But again, on that whiteboard, make sure you know where it says what valve you need to press. In this game through, it's going to be number 1. This is going to be a time limit. So what we have to do is we have to drain the water. So first, we're going to take a look at the pressure. And then this is going to be where we're going to, I believe, remove some pressure. And then this is the error message where we have to make sure that it kind of starts. So first, before we drain the water, we're going to press this. The shark tries to break through, the Neptune. I don't know why they're called Neptune, but whatever. So now, if it gets to 100%, they will get through and we will drown and die. So it's been shut down. So I can't turn off the water. So first, you got to go over here and you got to set the pressure. So you're going to release the safety before you can release the pressure. Then you'll release the pressure. But it won't work. It'll start to come down and it'll get stuck. Because again, we need, on that whiteboard, it said we have to do valve number 1. So go over here to the side, shoot 50%. And you're going to click on here, you're going to switch the controls, and you're going to press switch 1, because that's what it said on the whiteboard. It'll redo it. So now we have to turn off the safety again, and the safety is going to be on the right-hand side. Press this. And we're going to go right over here, right back to the left. And now we're going to drain the water. Well, no, we're going to lock us in so that the giant sharks can't get us. 50% critical. Fuck yeah, we did it. And once we do that, now we can drain the water, which is where we started. Again, it can be very hard. There's a specific way to do it. If you do it wrong, especially on hard, it goes by really fast. If you're playing on normal or easy, the time slows down. So you have a little bit more time to kind of through trial and error. So you kind of make it work the best that you can. So we're going to go right out this door. And with the water taken off, then we're in a good position to keep on moving, keep on trucking. We're going to go right over here where we will find some stuff that we can use, specifically some Magnum rounds. We're going to keep those because they're going to be very helpful. Everything's wet over here, so there's more ammunition that could be very helpful, but unfortunately it doesn't work anymore. So there's only so much we can do. We're going to go through these big-ass doors, and these big-ass doors are going to bring us through this room right in here. Basically, this is where we have the sharks. Unfortunately, dying slowly, but they're evil, and one of them ate Richard. Now, next to this carcass right here, there's the combat shotgun. That's Richard's gun, and now it's mine. And now it's a stronger gun, better spread, better range, much more better at firepower. This is the Mother Neptune. She's much bigger. I believe she's the one that actually ate Richard. And she's still alive, so you got to be careful here. Basically, you're going to try to grab this shining key. When she comes back to life, tries to get you. You can't go in the water because she will bite you. So what you got to do is, you first got to push this into the water, this generator thing. And then on the left-hand side, you'll actually turn it on. When you turn it on, it will fry the shark. Mother Neptune is no more. She is dead as fuck. Again, I would feel bad if she wasn't infected with the virus and if she hadn't killed Richard, who I had to work so hard to save from snake poison. There won't be any additional jump scares, so don't be afraid of that. We'll go through over here and we'll get the key. Because we need the residence key to continue on through our puzzles that we keep doing, because this game has no shortage of puzzles that we have to do. I do feel bad for these sharks, though. Nothing deserves to die like that. And I don't want to waste any ammo. And even if I do shoot them, it's not going to do anything because of the game. So, unfortunately, that's where we're at. Now, we're going to backtrack because I think this is a good place to kind of stop the game. We're going to go through these doors again. And basically, we're going to get to a save room. We're going to backtrack, get back upstairs. In order to do that, we're going to go around here. In other difficulties, you do find some ammo, but unfortunately, there isn't any for us here. What we're going to do is we're going to go up these steps in the ladder, and we're going to go back to the top of the residence to get to that save room, because we have a lot of stuff, and we can continue with our progress. When we go through this door, this is that side door that we first saw once we had the crates that we had to push. So like I said, backtrack. It's very simple, not too hard. Big ass space because Umbrella works around here, and they were experimenting on these poor sharks. But at least they were sharks and they didn't have like the Loch Ness Monster in there or something. Or working on giant ass squids. Or some kind of a sea monster, whatever that might be. So we'll go this way. Back this way. Ugh. Again, I love this game. And if you're liking it too, please, like I said, if you're not me, if you're not future me or my kids, and you're just watching it because you like my content, thank you, I appreciate that. If you just stumbled across this, thank you, I'm glad that you're here. But again, the big part of this game, the big part of this walkthrough comes already from Mike Bettencourt on YouTube. I'm not going to stop repping him because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been able to even do this at all. So check out his stuff. His commentary is wild, and it's endearing, and it's great. So go check out his stuff. I really highly recommend it. But with that, now we are here in the room. Basically, we're going to go through the inventory. This is a good time to save and get everything ready as we move forward. So thank you all for being a part of this, and I'll see you in the next one.